Welcome to Billing Your Clients. In this section, we're going to focus in on the management report balance due statement. The balance due statement is going to show all the transactions for a particular client by the receive date of that client. So it can include if they have multiple business types, it doesn't make a difference. It's strictly going to go off if the client has a balance due, and it's going to then show a grouping of all the transactions on the statement regardless of what business type it is. So let's take a look at a client. They have Tommy Sager, and I'm going to show all Tommy's years for this demonstration. So if you look here, Tommy's been with us several years. He has an outstanding balance of $280. And in that, he has a balance due for bookkeeping in 2014 of $100, $130 balance due in 2014 for tax prep, and $125 for tax prep for 2013. And he's got a credit balance in 2011 for $75. So when you add these up, subtract out the credit, you get a total of $280. So if Tommy calls and says, I want to pay my balance, send me a statement, he doesn't care. He may not want them all individualized. You can do that. You could send one for each year, but if you want to group them and send them all together, this is how you would do it. So we're going to go to reports. And we're going to select down to management, the balance due statement. And you see at the top, it's the receive date of the return, which is located in the account section of the client file. And for this example, I know back in 2011, he has a date received of 2/9/2012, and then the last transaction I recorded, which was 11/3/2015. Before I do, I have one more thing I want to point out is if you look at this last sentence, client balances are automatically updated every night at midnight. So if you log a transaction today, it will not be reflected in the report until tomorrow or after midnight, just so you know that. So don't think there's anything wrong when you log it in and look. It's just that this is a pretty large report, and we have a midnight process that runs to calculate all these balance dues. So I'm going to select tax prep, and I'm going to select the business type bookkeeping. And I'm going to hit, I have to put the date received. So date received, I know I have to go back to 2/9/2012, and I'm going to hit go. And it's a pretty quick report. I mean, there's 778 statements it produced. Now to find Tommy's, I'm just going to do Control F, type in last name Sager. It's going to do a search and should locate Tommy's toward the bottom here. And there we go. So the Control F, that's just a normal thing within your operating system. There's Tommy Sager right here. Here's a list of all the transactions that were logged from him for those date received. So this is encompassing probably about, I think it's 4 years. Well, 3 years of tax prep and then 1 year of bookkeeping. So it's only going to display the transactions where that year has an outstanding balance. So there were other years that Tommy's been with me, but because he had a zero balance due, it's not going to display in the statements, only the ones that where you owe money. Then in this column right here, done, and I'm going to show you in the transactions where how you would get it to be marked done or be open. So the ones that are not marked done are the ones that are outstanding. So he still owes balance 2013, $125. We did a adjustment for a mistake. That's where he's getting that $75 credit. Now these have already been paid. So the 125 and then the 125, and then the credit is right there associated with these two transactions. And the bottom line is $280. So you can send a statement to him, which will show all the transactions that will give a total balance of $280. So if he just wants to go ahead and send you a check for $280, then you would log the payments in and add them in the transaction section. So let me go back here real quick, and I'm going to show you where I was. One, I want to show you the date received field, which is important. I'm just going to go into, I'll go into this bookkeeping 2014. So receive date, this is the date we were talking about. That's where it's filtering. The report is filtering based on that receive date. Scroll down the transaction section. So here I have a logged in sales tax, $100. It's outstanding. As you notice here, the box is not checked. When he pays, what I should do is check this box and then go ahead and log however the payment method is, and then also check the box. That means that it's done. So you can either use the done box or you don't need to use the done box. It would both ways it would show up on this statement. But I just wanted to point out why some are checked and some aren't. So if I were to go back into his 2011 file, this is where we have these two. The fee was $125. He actually paid $125, and then it was an adjustment because we made a mistake on the return. That's how he has a credit balance. If you look right there, the current balance is $75 credit, and then total outstanding is $280 with that credit. So that's how you would run the management balance due statement report. Thank you.